Okay, so am I audible? Please response me, anyone. Am I audible or not? Am I audible? Okay. So last class we have discussed this is cascade control systems. So just I have elaborate. So last formula we have to learn, that is Mason gain formula, that is y by x. This is equals to 1 by delta summation of k equals to 1 to n pk dot del k. Okay, so where you have to know that is the output variable, x is the input variable. Okay, n is the total number of forward path. Okay, pk, we have to know that is pk is the path gain of the kth, that is the number of forward path. It is two more than one, that is forward path. And this is very important, that is delta. Okay, so delta k, what is the k is the, that is basically number of forward path, which number of forward path is available in this diagram. So these are the basically del k means that is the number of loops, forward path loops, that is 1 minus, formula is 1 minus sum of loop gain of all individual loops, then plus another one, sum of gain products of all possible combination of two non-touching loop. So just recall them, because when you have to solve the signal flow graph method, we have to solve the different types of loops. So here two or more loops are available. So in this case, sum of gain products of possible combination of two non-touching loops. So these two non-touching loops, it is not touches in each one loops. Okay, another one, minus sum of gain products of all possible combination of three non-touching loops. Okay, and so on. So this is dot 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 dot. Okay, so these are basically formula of the delta. So that means del k, we have to denote the value of delta. That means this one. 1 minute. Oh. So the value of delta for that part of the graph not touching the loops. Okay, so this is basically called the Mason gain formula. So please everyone remember these things. This is Mason's gain formula. Okay, this is very important when you have to solve the signal flow graph method. Okay, so is this clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we have to apply these rules in our previous examples. Just recall them. So we have to written this, that is C2 by R2. We have to know this
Sir,
C2
screen
and
has stopped, sir.
oh, now is it visible? This is C2 by
Yes, sir.
R2. This is GC2 dot GP2, and every terms we have to elaborate in previous slide, that is a previous classes. That is 1 plus GC2, GP2 and GM2. Here you have to know. So these are the basically terms. GC1 and GC2 we have to call the primary controller, that is GC1, and GC2, that is a secondary controller. I just recall one thing again. Another one, GP2 and GP1. This GP1, that means the primary process, and GP2, this is called the secondary process. Okay, so please remember these things. And GM1 and GM2, we have to use these two feedback loops according to the diagram. GM1 and GM2, we have to attach the measuring device. Okay, so these are the required terms we have to use this in last diagram. Now the complete functions is coming. This is cascade system. This is another one, R1, sorry, C1 by R1, that is output by input system. This is cascade control systems. We have to return this equation, that is GC1, GC2, GP1, GP2. That means two controller part, that is GC1 and GC2, another one GP1 and GP2. This is process 1 and process 2 divided by 1 plus sorry, this is GP2, GM2, GC2 plus GP1, GP2, GC2 and GM1. So these are the basically cascade equation of the required problem, whatever we have to discuss in last. Okay, so when you have to apply these rules, we have to easily calculate the output variable, that is the transfer functions, which is relation between the output of the systems to the input of the systems. Okay, is it clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next point, what is the basic thumb rules for the designing of the cascade control tuning systems? Okay, next is thumb rules for designing and tuning. We have to learn is tuning of the PID controller. In previous week we have to learn that is tuning of the PID controller system. What is tuning systems and what method we have to use this tuning of the PID controller systems. So this is also required the cascade control tuning systems also. Okay, so what is the basic thumb rules we have to apply any designing of the cascade control system? First of all, this secondary loop we have to use as primary loop and secondary loops. So you have to use these loops is properly to the input to the output, as well as also any disturbance it is coming. So this secondary loop it is also reduce the effect of the more disturbance also. So the first we have to remember, set the primary controller to manual. Okay, first rules. Number 2, tune the secondary controller part. Number 3, it is very important, put the secondary controller in
Sir, screen has stopped again.
oh, now it is visible. Controller in
Yes, sir.
automatic mode. And another one, number 4, tune the primary controller. So these 4 rules we have to remember when you have to design the any cascade control system. So first of all we have to know, so in this controller part we have to attach these 2 processor plant. One is the process 1 and another one is the process 2. So in this part you have to control or tuning the both controller part, that means primary controller and as well as also secondary controller part. Okay, so first set the primary controller part to the manual systems. Okay, that is primary controller you have to setting the manually. Then number two, tune the secondary controller system using the different method. Last classes we have to know that is Ziegler-Nichols tuning method of the PID controller systems. Another one, another control it is also available. Next, number third, put the secondary controller in the automatic mode. That means using this automatic mode, you have to attach this secondary controller. It is basically automatically mode and it is dependent on the primary controller mode. That means one master controller, another one is the slave controller. So first of all, primary controller you have to set the manual. Then this primary controller, it is working is
The audio is not
okay. So this primary variable is less affected by disturbance. Okay. Number third advantage, it is faster recovery. That means faster response is available in this cascade control system. That means faster recovery from any disturbances. Okay. Number four, it increase the natural frequency. Increase the natural frequency of the systems.
the screen is not visible.
Now is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Number five, it reduces the any magnitude of the time lag system. It reduces the effective magnitude of a time lag. That's why it is fast response in any uh, applied you have to in any control systems. And also it improves dynamic performance. And last one, it provides limits on the secondary variable. So this is little bit required. So this is basically advantageous of the cascade control system. First of all, it better control of the primary variable. It better control the primary variable. That means we have to use as the primary controller part, and another one is the secondary controller part. So this is basically advantageous for the cascade control system. Number two, this primary variable, it is basically less affected by any disturbance. Okay, any disturbance. Okay. Next, we have to continue, that is feed forward control. Okay. So anyone know is feed forward control? Any idea? Feed forward and feedback control. So all of you learn the feedback control system. That means the closed loop control system we have to learn. So this is basically another one. This is the feed forward control systems. Feed forward control. So what is feed forward control? So this is feed forward control. These loops can never achieve perfect any control. So this is basically any difficult for the conventional loops. We have to attach in this process output continuously at the desired set point value of the presence value. Any load or any set point, it is also changes. So this feedback actually, just wait. This is basically first controller part. We have to attach in this point. This is disturbance. This is process or plant. Then this is control. Output. This is manipulated. Variable. Okay. So this is the basic block diagram of feed forward control system. Okay, so here you can see this is also closed loop control system. This is controller part we have to attach, which is control the overall process of plant, and any disturbance, that is you have to attach this any physical uh, parameter we have to attach in this disturbance part, and this is the process which is connected to the controller part using this manipulated variable to the these are output, that is a control output sections. Okay, so this is the basic block diagram in the feed forward control systems. So this is feed forward, and another one we have to learn in our control system. This is feedback control system. So just recall them. My slide is visible. Anyone is responsible?
White screen.
Yes, white screen is.
White screen.
First, we have to attach this process or plant. This is the output sections. Then another feedback also attach, which is controller part. This is connected the output corresponding to the input. This is manipulated variable. This is disturbance. Okay, so this is the basic block diagram. Of feedback control systems. Okay, so in this feedback control system, here you can see one feedback loops we have to attach this controller part to the output to the input variable, that means the manipulated variable, and this is a closed loop control systems we have to know. Okay, so in the previous diagram, here you can see this is the feed forward control systems. Okay, so this feed forward control system strategy, this informations, this it is concerning the first manipulated variable, that is more conditions are to be might disturb the control variable, and it is also corrected to the corrective actions which is applied to the process of any plant. So this is basically one closed loop according to the cascade control systems also, and forward feed forward control systems. So this feed forward control systems we have to apply it in our different of types of applications area, that is distillations of the water. Okay, or also you have to any heat exchanger process you have to apply, that is feed forward control of the heat exchanger systems. Another we have to control, that is a feed forward control of the drum boiler systems. Okay, so these are the basic applications area of the feed forward control systems. Okay, so in the corresponding view of this cascade control system and feed forward control system, this is basically uses physically and chemical properties of the chemical plant. Okay, these feed forward control systems, and these variables in these equations are easily measured to the another part also. So, and the accuracy part of this cascade control system, it is very stable. So this is the basic advantages over the cascade control system. So we have learned in also feed forward. Another one is the feedback control system. So basic difference. Anyone please tell me what is the basic difference between the feedback and feed forward control system. So in that design principle, this feed forward control system, it is balance or conservation principles we have to applied in this FFC. FFC, that means feed forward control systems. Another one, feedback control system, that means the FBC. We have to accommodate in this part. This feedback control system, it is uses the feedback theory, that means one control closed loop connections we have to attach according to the output to the input terminal. And measured variable, it is disturbance in the feedback feed forward control system. Any disturbance, that means the one physical variables we have to control using this FFC, that is a feed forward control. And a feedback control system, it is measured variable, this control variable of the feedback loop technology. And feed forward control system, it is basically open loop control systems, and feedback control system, we have to know this is a basically closed loop control systems also. So this feed forward control systems, it is typical controller, and we have to certain apply the mathematical relationship. And this feedback controller system, we have to learn, it is basically applied area also on off controller, proportional integral controller, and proportional integral derivative controller we have to use this. So these are the basic difference between the feedback control and feed forward control systems. So this is another questions. Just recall this one. Difference between, that is FFC, that means the feed forward control, and that is the ABC, that means feedback control. Okay, so this is very important. So it is clear, all of you? What is the difference between the feedback control system and feed forward control systems? And also I am sharing the class notes in your Google Classroom portal. Everyone read this carefully, or any questions or any problem, so please ask me in next classes also. So we have to cover, that is cascade control systems and feed forward control system according to the feedback control system. And last one in your syllabus, that is ratio control system. So this ratio control systems we have to continue in our next classes. Just I am giving the idea. This ratio control, it is basically used for the two or more flow at a time. Okay, that means when you have to uses the industry purpose, that is a two or more different types of liquid we have to flow in the same channel, or same, that is the same parameters also. So that means this ratio control, it is used for the ensure two or more flows are kept at a constant ratio, even if the flows are changing. And this ratio control, it is basically a special type of feed forward control system. So this ratio control, it is designed using the help of feed forward control systems. Okay, so next classes we have to continue this ratio control systems. Okay, so anyone, any questions or any doubts, so please ask me.
No, sir.
Okay, or others? So please everyone write your own name and roll number in the chat box also. And Abhijit, you take a screenshot and send me again, because we have two classes, part 1 and part 2. So everyone please write your own name and roll number in the chat box also. Okay, so this ratio control systems, it is basically to keep a constant ratio between the feed flow rate of the steam line flow in the boiler, and also distillation systems. We have to distill the liquid of system. That means two types of flow we have to control simultaneously using the ratio control systems. So these ratio control systems, which is used for the ensure the two or more flow are kept in constant ratio, even you have to apply parallelly in this any process or plant also. Okay, and to maintain the correct air or fuel mixtures in optimal combustion also. So all of you learned that is carburetor systems in any automobile devices. So in these automobile devices, we have to use as carburetor systems. The basic principle of the carburetor, it is mixing the air and fuel. That means air and petrol, and also basically one ratio we have to setting in the carburetor systems, which is maintain the correct air or fuel mixtures for the optimal combinations also combustion. Okay, so this is very useful for the automobile purpose, these ratio controls. Another one, to control this ratio of two reactants entering a reactor as a desired ratio. That means when you have to use any nuclear power plant, okay, or any chemical power plant, where you have to use the two or more liquid